Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Lovely Ruth. Miss Ruth's Habit is the channel. I hope you guys are liking and subscribing. It's just a simple channel where I actually talk to people. I just talk. Actually, I'm pretending to talk to myself, try to get myself in the habit of speaking, because if it was a while before I could even talk, compose myself when I first started my channel. And so practices make perfect. See, I'm messing up already. So the more I talk, the confident I would get, and I'm preparing myself for to be able to do some kitchen chronicles or something, but it still would be self talks. So today's topic is going to be um hey, I gotta go with what I know. It's gonna be about men. I will say this, and I will say it over and over again. Just when you think you know men, you don't know men. You know what I'm saying? I have had my share of men in my life when I was younger. When I got older, it you know how it just slims down to maybe one guy at a time, or one guy maybe not even date. One guy is like you don't even want to date. So you very careful about who you let around your family. And sometimes we start off relationships as friends, but yet they do be relationships, and you don't title them. And but I've experienced some men in my life, I mean recently, that are pretty much, I guess we all are broken. We're not perfect. We have flaws and we're not perfect. Uh, but we try, as women, we try to uphold ourselves. It's a lot that comes with being a woman. Not only do you have these um, things that we go through, body issues, preparing for childbirthing, and holding the weight of the family on your shoulders, and cooking, cleaning, providing for the family, most of us. And we have to rely on ourselves. We try to raise kings ourselves. We're not men, so we try to do the best we can to raise a king. Um, and our daughters, we want to give them something to look up to. So it's not an easy task. It's not easy at all. So to do so single-handedly, it's a job. It's a job within a job. I mean, even the women that get to stay home and be housekeepers or whatever, um, they too, I have to just tip my hat to those women too, because in a run of a day, you did an 8 hour, 9 hour, 10 hour job, just in the daytime alone, not even to mention at night when your kids, in the evening when your kids come home from school, your husband get there, and then you got to cook and clean, and then you got to, you know, make sure everybody eats, and you got to clean up before you go to bed, you got to do laundry, you got to, you know, make sure your kids are okay and got what they need for the next day, and your husband is good. And it's always something to do. So it's never a break there. And uh, like I said, I bow down to those queens that have to do that. It's not an easy job. And I know it's not easy to be married, because being submissive, like I said, I would definitely want to be submissive to my husband. I thank God though, right now I'm at that age where I couldn't bear kids anymore, so I don't wouldn't have to worry about that change again. So, but I do love kids. I'm willing to adopt. I'm willing to accept his. and my children are good at a good age, so they're taking care of themselves or their families. So I'm a good grandmom. I mean, I'm wonderful. I think as far as what my grandkid needs, and I'm always available for him. Even though our kids are an assignment and they grow up and we let them go and they do their own life, we still get that second round of grandchildren and having the luxury of kind of doing it all over again, but without the full responsibility, I want to say. But I love my grandkid. I have one grandkid. Think the world of him. Again, here I am put in the position to help raise up a king. And we as women, like I said, we are a strong species. We are strong. We are mighty. And God made us to be that strong. And so we have to take care of ourselves. We have to love us. We have to see us in a different light when we look in the mirror. Although we have all these hats and these tasks to do and these responsibilities at the end of the day, we still have to reach out to ourselves and give ourselves some love. We have to say, hey, you know what? I took care of everybody today. Let me take care of me. Let me take this warm bubble bath. Let me relax. Let me de-stress. Let me, do a facial on myself. Let me get ready to have a good night's sleep because I know this starts all over again. So we have to pamper ourselves one way or the other. Even on the weekends, we have that we had a little tiny break. We take ourselves and we go to the salons, or we go to the nail shop, or we go get a foot massage, or whatever we want to do to make ourselves feel worthy or feel loved on ourselves. For ourselves, we have to do these things. It's not about, you know we just want to spend money. Sometimes pampering ourselves makes us stronger and makes us durable, and to keep carrying on. And yeah, I started this conversation because I said I don't know men anymore. I've been out of the dating game so long. I mean, God, I was in my 20s, 30s even. Not even in my 30s because I didn't really date. I had one dude, which is my kid's dad, that I nurtured that relationship. Come to find out, I wasn't the only one nurturing that relationship with him. So that to me, and I say this, I kind of buried the fact that I was so used and so taken advantage of as far as me having a man of my own. I think in my childbearing years, and he and I wanted a kid, and his reason was to keep me there because he already had a baby on the way. So he, in turn, decided let's have a kid. And then the other kid that came, my daughter that came along, it was like I wanted her for me, so to speak. I wanted that family life. Like I said, my mom had 13 kids. Two kids for me was a blessing from God. But the fact, there's no but there. It's like it was truly a blessing from God to have my two beautiful children. And the relationship, however, with their dad was not, it was nothing to write home about. My mom and my dad would tell me, hey, you know what? This was not for you. Did I listen? My dad used to say, you deserve better. I mean, when I didn't have a transportation to drive to and from, my dad would always take me to work. You pick me up from my place and take me to work, regardless of my circumstances or me living with my baby's dad or whatever. He would take me to work and he would say, you know what? You deserve better every day, every day. My dad would say, "You deserve better. He's not ready to settle down. You need a man that's gonna take care of you and your kids and blah blah blah." And I would tell my dad, "Okay, yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on, trying to make this relationship better." But it was out of my control. You cannot control a man, especially if he chasing tail, tasting whatever, up and down the streets. Every chick he meet, he's picking up. It was a dangerous game. So in turn, I have to, now that I look back, I have to thank God for keeping me safe. I mean, it could have been, everything could have went wrong. The drug deals, the 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 coming home late at night, not coming home at all. I'm with my babies or my baby or whatever, and it was a whole lot happening back then. So I didn't get the pleasure of really having a serious relationship after that. I mean, people that came after that, my kids got old enough to um at that age where they were growing up, I didn't want to bring men around them. I mean, the occasional date, I would say, maybe, maybe three semi relationships that ended like it didn't end good. Didn't it, it wasn't it didn't serve me, in other words. So I always say the one that got away, I love him dearly. I still love him as of today. I don't desire to be with him. I mean, though we talk, we're friends. Every once in a while, we'll, shoot out a line to each other. But I always view him as the one that got away because he was the perfect guy. He was just, he knew what he wanted. He had a head on his shoulder, but he was lacking in responsibility as far as a relationship is concerned. I think he let people in his head, his family, whatever, making decisions for him or giving him some advice which I didn't think was sound advice. But there was an issue of our relationship. He was a friend to my brother, so um, there was issues there. But I tell you, in the experience of that relationship, he respected me with my kids. He was just with open arms for me. I mean, it was like easy. He was easy to talk to, easy to deal with, and then all of a sudden, it was like a shift or something, and it was like, it's, this is not, I mean, we didn't really, I think we just went our separate ways. It wasn't really like, I found somebody else. Men can never tell you the truth. Men cannot come to you and say, you know what, this relationship is not working out. I don't want to hurt you. I want, somebody else. No, they creep around until you find out, and then you confront them, and then it's, over. And I hate the way that ended between us, but we still was able to communicate. I'm just that type of person because I don't hate, and I'm not stupid, but I don't hate. I can't hate you because that'll be baggage that I'm taking into the other relationships, my future relationships. So I didn't hate him. I lost contact with him for a while, but we kind of found each other again, but we hadn't seen each other. There's nothing physical. It's just a lot of love there, and I love him, and I think he's the one that got away. If could perfect him, nobody's perfect. If I could perfect him, it would be, if I could perfect any man, it would be honesty. That's a good look on a man. That's a good look. You know what I'm saying? It's a good look on a man to be honest and forthright and strong, and the hero. Like I said, I like my dad. I look at my dad as being the hero, and that's what I want in a man. And I had not yet found that. Now I have since then ran into. See, I'm gonna be honest. I messed around with my An old friend of mine. He was a pretty boy. He was here. And he too was one that I would have kept if it was possible, but he ended up getting married, which all of them did ended up getting married. Made me think, kind of made me think like, do I nurture these? Do I mature these men into their next relationship? What was I, a catalyst or something? I don't know. But after he got married, it's like we grew even closer. I mean, it was what it was. It was a fling and it was what it was. But I really cared about him. I mean, not to the extent where I would break up his any relationship that he had, but I really cared about him. He was good people. He was good dude. He was good dude. And again, I can count maybe two good relationships, two out of my whole life, I could count maybe two or three good relationships. I mean, you can't count any of those 20 in your 20s. You can't count those as relationships. Those are experiences. And if we do choose to get married and in our 20s, it's like chances of staying together. It's a few that do. It's a handful of people that do because all this time, you got to be in love, in love, in love. And you got to know what that is. You got to actually grow into loving a person. I don't think you, I don't know if it's love, if ever been love at first sight with anybody, but yeah, you kind of grow into it. Yeah, I could say at one point I loved my kid's dad. At one point I thought he was noble. I thought he was honorable. He was kind of acting shy, which turned me on. He was kind of acting like, oh, I'm afraid of rejection. And I just don't. And you would not have known the things that he did behind my back. You wouldn't have. I was so naive and gullible at that age. It was like this man could cheat in front of my face and I wouldn't be the wiser because I didn't know anything about that. I'm new in relationships, right? I did not know. And so I don't know. I don't know. I just fell for him. It was kind of like the way we met was through he worked with my brother at the hospital, worked with my brothers, and my brother that's older, 1 year older than me, he was like, talk to her. And he was like, man, um, I ain't finna mess with your sister like that. And because it was another guy, the story goes like it was this other guy that was in my face. And I guess they thought that he wasn't good enough for me. He was player material and he was this, and this, and that he was gonna hurt me or break my heart. So I'm like, huh? That's up to me. But in fact, in fact, he could have been a good possibility in a relationship. He wasn't a bad guy and he surely wasn't ugly. So he was a good candidate, but it was just some things about him that it just I'm new to relationships right at this point. And it was just something about him, but I didn't even get a chance to explore anything after that with him because this man swooped right in, started dating me. We start hanging out. We start laughing. We was going through this stuff. Come to find out, he was living with this high school girlfriend at his mama house. Make a long story short, he was cheating on me, and she got pregnant. And he wanted to get me pregnant. And it was four other girls after that. It was like even a girl that I worked with, a little girl that I was working with, and I was fond of her. I was the store manager and I was fond of her, and me and her would talk all the time about her relationship and her boyfriends. And she said that she met this guy that she's gonna go out with. He's gonna pay for her babysitter and all this other stuff. And he would call her at the store. And then I answered the phone one day and lo and behold, it was my baby daddy. And it was a small world, right? And it took that. She left him alone immediately. It took that wake up call for me to actually cut all ties. I mean, no, I start viewing him as not even the baby daddy. I start viewing him as a relative. Like I did not have any attraction to him. And I mean, you can get hurt so many times. You can be done wrong so many times, but you're gonna have a wake up call sooner or later. You're gonna get that aha moment. Like I did some crazy stuff behind this guy. I mean, I was one of those chicks that cut your tires. I punched holes in his tires. I which was stupid because it was my truck too. Um, Punched holes to his tires because I knew he was gonna. When I caught him at that girl's apartment, I knew he was gonna try to run. So I punched it. But it was so silly. I mean, when I look back at him, like I was in such a love rage. Don't do this, y'all. Don't be bold like that. Uh, I went up to the apartment because I knew he was there, and his sister told me where he was, and this girl come to the door with her baby on her hip, and it's like, oh my God, what is going? I mean, I wasn't in the dark about it. I knew, you know what I mean. I just wanted to let them know that I knew. I mean, he wasn't hiding anything, and no, it's not what you think. I'm just over here seeing the baby. Okay, it's exactly what I thought. So to me, that really kind of ended the relationship. But when you're in love, you give people chance after chance. So it took, it really took me moving into an apartment with him again, another apartment, and my one of my kids was one, 2 years old, and my other one was one, and he would leave us there. We were having we it was working out until he called one day and he said he didn't come home. I knew the deal. You running drugs. Well, my mama, she needed something, and I went to take it to her, and then I just stayed out. Um, it just took that one time. It just took that one time for you to stay out again. I packed my kids' clothes up. I packed their little gear up. I took my clothes and whatever I needed, and I moved. I left furniture. I left everything in that apartment. It was like an old raggedy. It was some type of. It wasn't a good area. It was like the whole other side of the building had caught on fire and it was condemned. And we were on this side and those buildings was on. It was just we were in the back. It was like there's no way that I'm gonna keep my two beautiful kids and myself, can't defend myself in these apartments, waiting on this dude to come home. And no, it was just had to be done. It had to be ended. And I did that, and my dad was never ever so more proud of me than that in that moment. I moved in with my older sister and her husband for a little while till I could get on my feet. Moved back in with my mom and dad for a little while. Got back on my feet and to start taking care of my children, and God started blessing me with things and transportation and all these other things that I needed. But to say all that, don't let a relationship get you down to where you can't pick yourself back up. You can always walk away from things that doesn't serve you. Relationship love is powerful. It can hurt. I mean, you can love a person to where it hurts your heart. Like you don't want to do them no wrong. You don't want to hurt them, but yet they're hurting you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to leave them out in the dirt. You always want to be there for them, and just in case if they come back, they got this big foot in the door. So and you leave that room open for them so they can get back in. Because just what if they need you? But it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing that could have fulfilled me after that. So yeah. And I wasn't, I had my I had friends. I'm just gonna say that. I had friends. So after that, I because he wanted to get married, and I'm so glad I said no. He did ask. We talked about it, we planned it, and then I was like, no, I don't think the Holy Spirit or something was saying, no, that's not gonna work out. And I'm glad I didn't, because after that, that boy had a kid from three other girls. I think he got my two, the first one he had, and another child, and then two more kids. So he have six kids altogether. So I dodged a bullet. I mean, me being the one that's crazy enough to have two, but I love my kids and I don't have any regrets on my kids, bringing my kids into the world. But I don't regret my life. I look at my life as lessons learned. I mean, we have to go through stuff to grow, and that matured me a lot. It made me pretty much know what I I know what I didn't want, and I decided, like I said in the last video, I decided that I was going to protect my heart, and I wasn't going to love like that. Wasn't going to trust anybody to be with me anymore. Like I would always keep an eye open, and then I'm just bringing that stuff into my life, like not trusting God, guys, and not having a long enough relationship to even explore the possibilities of having a relationship. And then most of them, like uh, well, it didn't last 3 months. I don't believe. Yeah, no more than 3 months, sometimes 3 weeks. Um, Nothing past 5 months, I know. Um, but it was sort of an emptiness, because I had guarded my heart, and sometimes people talk about not bringing baggage into your next relationship, and all I had was baggage. All I had was luggage, you know, and I self-sabotaged purposely on some of them. I made this prayer to God that I didn't want anyone in my life. I did not want anyone in my zone. I didn't want a man to come into my life and leave. I wanted, especially ones that had bad intentions for me. Like if they were potentially not even good for me, to remove them. Don't even give them a fighting chance. I didn't want nobody. I kept telling them, I don't want no, I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody. Just every once in a while I need to be taken care of. I don't want anybody. And that kind of stuck. I think it kind of stuck. That's probably why I'm single right now. But I told somebody the other day, I choose to be single because I choose to be. It's not like I can't get a man. Um, but I don't want just any man. I don't want the drama. I mean, how could we avoid the drama? But the type of men that I've always attracted was not good enough for me. And I think maybe my dad planted that seed in my head. Like nobody I ever brought home was good enough for me, or nobody that I ever brought home or introduced them to, they were ugly, or it was something always the matter with them. And I used to get so angry at my dad, because I used to think he was never gonna ever be happy with somebody I bring home, because my dad loved me, right? So it was this guy I liked. Now, this was before I had my children, though. This is the seed, right? There's this guy I liked. He was from Nacogdoches. Oh man, and it was like that was the part. That was the time in my life when my mom and dad would let me go places. I mean, I could go when I was grown, right? After high school, so I would could go places, right? And I dated this guy. He wasn't cute. He wasn't the cutest person, and I don't know. I just attracted other men. I don't know, but he wasn't cute. But he stole my heart because his heart was so big. His family was so nice to me. I went out there to meet them, and he was so generous. And they was like always keeping him on his guard. And it was like it was a beautiful family. To me, this man was so beautiful in the heart. It was like, yeah, it was one of my good ones right there. But It wasn't good enough for my dad. Of course, I had to break that out. It was other guys that just didn't measure up. Like, no, what's wrong with him? He too this or he too this. Come to find out, it wasn't just my dad. It was my mom. Found out it was more so my mom than my dad. Now they had like security issues with me, and I did not I did not realize it. I thought it was my dad, but it wasn't him alone. So it was like everybody had to be approved. I had a sister before me. I have a sister before me, and she can bring home the wildest. She have brought home the wildest guys, right? And they dealt with it. But me, it was an issue. So I remember that guy. I remember this guy in college. When I was in college, I uh, dated this guy. I mean, I had some boyfriends. I had some boyfriends, and I didn't, with that age, your brain developing, your body developing, and you just like, okay, it is what it is. You back then you didn't have any marriage plans, or you just wanted to, find somebody good, hang on to them for a little while, and then there was some busters. I mean, wow, story of my life is meeting deadbeat guys. Goodness. But right now, at that age, I think my dear said this kindly in her one of her videos. Is when you turn 50, a woman knows you know what you want and you know what you don't want. So I always say I know what I don't want. I know what I want, but most of all I know what I don't want. So with that, I used to think my standards was high, 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 and I never lowered them. And it's not for us to lower because our standards are what we desire that we're worthy of. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't love yourself enough, and then yeah, you want to lower your standards and you want to settle, and another one of the reasons why I don't have anyone, because I cannot settle. Life is too short to be settling for somebody that you don't want to be in the midst with. You don't want to go through the ringer with. You don't want to lose nobody. Say for instance, if you lose a parent, and how are you gonna handle that? How are you handling it? Are you gonna support me? Am I gonna support you? Are you gonna cry? Are you gonna run away and leave me? Or what? How are you handling things in your life? So you got to see all perspective, all angles of a person. And I want to be ready. I want to be ready. And know, I know for a fact that I will handle things differently. I would not run and fold up, or I would not allow stupidity in our relationship. I want a mature man. I want a mature man. I want a secure man that knows himself. And I don't mind him being a mama's boy. I don't mind him being family oriented. I want him to be. He'll have more respect for me that way, because what you see happen to your sister or your mom, you're gonna consider me the same way. So, and yeah, yeah, and you can have family. I mean, it's okay, but don't take your eyes off the prize, your loving wife, and I hope that the man that I meet, that I get along well with his family is my family, my family is his family, crazy and all, and that our um, lives can be one. We can be two whole individual coming together as one. So I had a lot of time to learn things. I had a lot of time on my hands. I'm about to get purchase a book, a relationship book. I mean, on how to actually be a wife. I want to read that. I want to see what interesting points they have in there, because I consider myself wife material. I don't consider myself as girlfriend material. I don't want to be anybody's girlfriend. I'm not a girl. You know what I'm saying? The high school stuff, the little young girl stuff, I'm way past that. I think I'm seasoned. I'm a mature woman, and I should be treated as such. And so, and no games. Who has time for games? Who has time to second guess somebody? Where you been? I had dated this. I ain't date him. It was a booty call. I'm just gonna tell you right up. And his name was Rick. I'm just gonna tell you, and he was weird to the weirdest. But then I accepted that. I let that in. When I say I let that in, my maturity as a Christian and everything was developing. And I'm like, no, I had been celibate. I had just been minding my own business. You know, when we came out that COVID era, it was like, I wasn't in a relationship before then, and I was by myself. So I wasn't longing for anything, but I met this guy online, and he seemed legit. He seemed like a pretty good guy to have he have his head on his shoulder, he have his own business. And he didn't tell me, lying, started off lying, didn't tell me he owned his own mechanic shop, right? He didn't tell me that. He said he was working at this mechanic shop. Googled him, looked him up. He owns this thing, right? He was so tight with money. He just always talked about his money and his legacy, and he wanted to leave his 8 year old what he wanted to leave his 8 year old. Mind you, he's 65 years old. He's 64, soon to be 65 at that time, right? And you have an 8 year old. That's a total big A word red flag right there. So it was like, okay, we could be stupid about this, or we can go with the flow and, you know, get your needs met. And which, oh God, I did ask for forgiveness for that, did I? Yeah, anyway, I did. I think I did. So it was a time in my life that I needed a pinch to wake me up, to actually feel something or feel the notion that I want a relationship, and I had to test the waters or something. I don't know what was going through my head. It was like, okay, let me have mature adult talk with a mature adult. Like let's talk about, and guys will, they play on what you love the most. They will throw God in there just because you love God and you're a Christian and it's on your profile. So that's the role they're gonna play. And I didn't know. Oh, lesson, right? So anyway, he was, you know, lost his mom. Um, dad was sick, ill, whatever, lost his mom. He was going through it, and it was like I saw how he handled that, and it wasn't good, and it was like he was always griping about his family, and it was like, but when it came down to me, we didn't establish a relationship. We didn't establish seeing each other. We didn't do any of that. The right thing to do was to ask me out and take me out, or like you do every other woman. But I, silly me, didn't, I'm like, I was that little immature girl again, all over again. Didn't demand it. Didn't say, okay. But it was all kinds of games in there. It was all kinds of, oh, I'm going to the racetrack and my friend this, and I'll be over later. We'll talk and whatever. No, lies, lies. And what's so bad about it was the Holy Spirit was talking to me and it was just like, get rid of him, let him go. This is not for you. No, this is not. This is not even you. You gotta hide this relationship. What is this? I had all these things, right? And it was like, what am I doing? I know I'm a good looking woman. I'm a good person. I got a good heart, got a good head on my shoulder. Smart. You know what I'm saying? I already lived my life, seasoned, matured, gracefully, grew. You know, I know better than this. Why am I entertaining this? But I was so stunned and so shocked that a 65-year-old wasn't already ready to settle down. Like, you should be looking for a wife, not a damn booty call, or not these little girls that you chase and you think this is fun and this ain't that much money in the world to make me have somebody like that. It just wasn't. I don't know what it was. I don't know. But sometimes the devil will creep in and see you. And I know everybody experienced this, but if you hadn't, but you will, throw somebody in there in your, it's like throwing a monkey wrench in your bicycle wheel. It's like, I, you knew what it was. You entertained it for a little while, then you stopped. But thank God that I had a strong, a God that loves, because He snatched me out of that real, real quick. I could have been the little stupid, vulnerable one, and allowed this, keep allowing this, or let this, this. It wasn't even a relationship. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let this last or continue on. But I got the hell up out of Dodge. I got out of that. I sent a text because we just didn't get the back and forth phone calls. Send a text, send my closure, because I like to close things out, because I don't want nothing creeping back in. I like to shut that door. So I send my text, say what I had to say, blocked, blocked, blocked. Did not unblock, left it alone. This man can't find me. I moved everything. He cannot find me. And if he did find me, it would be like, what the hell are you doing here? Because you already know that wasn't good for you. It wasn't healthy. It was risky. And I thank God that I didn't linger on in that, because I could have got emotionally attached. I slipped and fell. I slipped and fell into this mesmeric thing, because people do things, and sometimes people do things. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. People do things on a full moon, and incantations, and all this other, you know, moonlight stuff, and go into your sleep. And I do believe that stuff can happen. I don't trust the fact that it doesn't happen often to people. I just would bet my life on it. But people get into you, because it was like, to me, it was like, and I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but to me, it was like, you can feel when something is pulling you toward something, you gravitate toward something you wouldn't in a million years, and you're saying things, or you're acting in an emotional state where you're not knowing where this coming from. What is this? And I already knew about the voodoo stuff, so you when we first met, you're telling me about this voodoo thing that happened to your friend, and light skinned girls, and what light skinned women are do to you, and all the stuff he's saying, right? God is good. He's saying these things because I had to know these things, right? God would not let me be blindly going through life without any kind of notions or awareness or messages or red flags, right? So I already know, this thing was nagging at me like, nope, get rid of him, get rid of him, get rid of him. And it didn't take me too long to do that. And I wasn't going to sit there and let the relationship keep draining me or taking from me the energy. I'm saying you know, the energy. Because if you have to argue with somebody, you back and forth bickering with somebody, what they not doing and why this or whatever, um, then you don't need to be in that thing. That's not for you. If it doesn't feel right, it's not for you. You cannot make it right. I don't care how many times you sleep with a person, or you give to a person, or they give to you, or you deal with them, and sometimes you don't deal with them, and they come around and you like, uh, up, you just so happen to be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's draining you emotionally, mentally. It's just like draining you. I cannot give nobody that much energy anymore. I can't. I won't. My life is not forever. And why would I spend it? I'm not better than anybody. I'm not saying that. But why would I waste my time? Why would I give so much of myself to something that's not for me, or it's not serving me, or it's not beneficiary? It's just simple as that. So I hope he's in peace or whatever he's doing or whatever. Every once in a while, I look on that online and um, I stroll through there, make sure, and I just look. I mean, I'm just looking right every blue moon, and he's on there still fishing for women. It's like, what the heck, dude? You go, but okay, because to me, I can look at it like it was a really, really good woman in your face. You had the opportunity to do the right thing. I say that about every guy that I've ever dated. You had the most beautiful thing that you could ever have right before you let slip away. And so my kingdom husband, I know he's gonna see me. You know what I'm saying? He's going because those people weren't for you. If they're not for you, they're not gonna stay around. If they're not for me, and I prayed to God for this, they're not for me. Don't let them stick around to damage me or to destroy me in any kind of way or affect me in any kind of way. And he has been diligently removing people from my life, which is admirable to me. I think that God loved me just that much that He will not give me or allow people to come into my life with the intentions of hurting me. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. So I am looking forward to, still meeting people and not for me right now, I won't jump into a relationship with anybody. I would have to know them. I have to get to know them unless God tells me otherwise. And, you know, God just ain't gonna give his baby to anybody, his daughter, his queen, to just anybody. And I'm noticing that. So I am I'm good. With the occasion, I have to I have to stop this. With the occasion of sometimes I feel a little lonely, sometimes I feel the need to I want my it's not a fleshy thing, but it's like a woman needs to be loved, touched, held, right? And you don't want to do that with anybody. You don't want to let sin in. So how do you my question is how do you get past this part? Do you stay prayed up? I stay praying. I stay praying and I stay conscious of what I shouldn't do. What I shouldn't do. So yeah, it's kind of I'm at that point. I'm right there where I wish it was somebody. I want my kingdom husband to come. I want to get married. I want my circumstances to change. I want to still look good. I don't want to get too, you know, you know, I don't want to mess up. I want to keep my posture and God at God's feet. I want to stay matured. I want to, stay healthy, keep myself up, because, I want to be ready. And it's not about the clothes, the hair, the makeup, the shoes, the nails. It's none of that stuff. God has given me a lot of stuff. He's blessed me with a lot of stuff to prepare me for a moment like this. Like when that guy walks through that door, he's not going to see none of that stuff. He's going to see me. He's going to see, I'm going to be transparent to him and he to me. So I'm going to know he's the one, right? And he's going to know God's going to show him me. And so I do believe that. I believe that with all my soul. And I'm going to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be equipped. I want to be ready. I want to be mature. I want to be able to maintain a relationship past 6 months. I want this person to be the one I go out with. Like this is the one to the end, to the very end. Um, I know it's going to be some ups and downs, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but not the dramatic stuff we experienced when we were younger. We should be past that. Of course, he should be at the ripe old age, and I don't care if he's 15 years younger than me. I don't care if he even 20 years younger than me. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay because we're going to know each other and we're going to click and we're going to understand each other and we're going to have this relationship that is going to be so different from all the rest. You know what I'm saying? And our past is our past. Our hurts and relationships is in our past. We're going to start anew with each other, experience things all over again, and live our lives. That's what I want. That's what I want. So, like I said, I started off saying I don't understand men. I can't get in their minds. You go on YouTube and you see these men talk about, you know, what they want in a woman this and a woman. I mean, some ignorant people on this on the in social media that's criticizing a woman, which you wouldn't have even gotten here without the woman, but you somehow grew up hating the woman and thinking a woman should be in her place and this and this and this and criticizing even you want these women that do the BBLs and all this other stuff. You want this photo perfect woman just to screw, right? A real woman, you don't want that, but you on the other hand, you're talking about how a woman got to be natural and she got to do this, she got to have her own hair, she got to do this and this, and you make putting all these standards up against women, but your mindset is it's some guys' mindsets are the wrong perception of women. You know, you may have been hurt before, you may not have seen the love from your mom, or you may not have experienced, you know, the love of a woman, a love of a really, really real woman. And you have these ideas and these stipulations on what a woman should be to you, and you're broadcasting, and you have all these other people following you and listening to you. Yeah, you're right. And all these people you're leading down a mountainside that's going to burn out and crash or whatever. You leading these people in the wrong direction. Let people have a mind of their own. It's okay to find a simple woman. It's okay to marry a woman, a supermodel. If she loves you, then you love her back. We don't have to be perfectionists in everybody's eyes. We just have to be good enough for ourselves. We have to love ourselves. If we women, if we love ourselves and we value ourselves, a man can't help but see that. You know, he can't help but see that. And I come a mighty long way. I have to give myself some props because the shy and timid me, and I'm still shy. I'm still kind of shy in a way, but I'm working on that. I'm growing out of that because I don't want to say this. This guy, right? I was flirting with recently. He is so cute. I ain't gonna lie to you, cute men, and when they flirt with me, and it's like, oh, I don't want to look him in the eyes because I'm gonna fall for him. You know, that's my little girl side, right? My little girl coming out, right? And I'm like, and I'm flirting back, and we just, you know, flirting, And I think this guy is so gorgeous. I really do think he's cute. But sometimes cute is not enough. You know, a man can be as gorgeous as he possibly can, but it's just what's coming out of your mouth and what's coming out of your heart is what turns me on. The flirting is like when you walk out the door, when you go or you turn your back and we going our separate ways. Um, at the end of the day or whatever, it's not enough to be cute or handsome or you bringing on the charm. It's not enough. It's nothing to stand on really. So you could take it how you want. Oh, he's so cute. We flirting and looking at each other and talking about things, and that's a really really good feeling, right? That first, you know, you initially liking somebody or whatever. He's unattached. He's attached. He's unavailable, which makes the flirting even dangerous. And sometimes we can't get that close to the flames, right? So the flirting back and forth, and that's to me that's cute, that's flattering or whatever. But you gotta be wise enough to know what you don't need. Just don't need it, just don't need it, right? And so I, like I said, I'm a little timid, I'm a little shy, especially when it comes to flirting. And I can flirt, I can say those, I can throw them out there and throw these words out there, but when it comes to the intimate part, I giggle. I mean, trying to kiss me or hug me or whatever, I'll giggle. I think the little, my little teenage self comes out. Like it used to tickle me for somebody to hold my hand. It tickles me for somebody to try to kiss me. Um, it's I giggle, right? So I think I need to mature. I'm too old to be acting like an 18-year-old, right? So when this man come into my life, I'm gonna know it. It's gonna be easy. It's not gonna be that flirty stuff. It's not gonna be that what you want to do, what you want to do. It ain't gonna be none of that. It's gonna be straightforward. Hey, my wife. Mhm. You know what I'm saying? Like on a serious note. I had this one dude, and you have to experience it. I had this one dude on that same day to site. I didn't talk to him though, but you could like get free messages, right? And this dude said I know you are my wife. You are my wife. It was some funny looking dude. You're my wife. He stalked my found my number and he stalked me like, oh, you're my wife. He texted me like 20 times in a row. And it was like terrible, 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 terrible. So, so yeah, not my husband, He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna act like that. He's gonna know and he's gonna pursue me. What happened to chivalry? What happened to is that out the door? Is that even a word anymore? Because I told a guy before, I told the guy before um that um I would like I would like to I mean I had that done before, but I would like to see guys. What happened to the guys that open your car door and ask and open the doors when y'all walking into the church or a store together or whatever? What happened to those guys that give you their jackets, you know what I'm saying? Or come around and give you the umbrella when you're getting out the car? Or what happened to those ones that hold your arm when you're walking so you won't fall in your heels or what happened to those guys? You know what I'm saying? Um, that guy say, by the time we get around to your car, you could get you could have been out. And why do women want this? And it's not like that anymore. I'm like, dang, maybe it's not. I don't know, because I don't go out and meet guys anymore. Um, I'm waiting on a guy to walk up to me and say, "Oh, you're beautiful. Do you want to go out?" I mean, you don't have to say the beautiful part. What's your name? Do you want to go out to dinner? I'm yet to even hear those words. You know what I'm saying? Guys are scared to approach me for some reason. I don't know. Me mug. Maybe I'm me mug. I don't know. But it's just maybe my persona is like what has been like, I'm not interested to. I have that thing. I'm not interested. But I removed that. I removed it in the name of Jesus. I removed that exterior and I I'm approachable. I kind of like look at a guy and have a conversation, or if we're in the store in the aisle and somebody say, "Oh, you smell so good, what is that?" And I'll have a conversation, but then turn my body I'll turn my body as if to like that was it. That's all I'll give you. You know what I'm saying? I have to be a little bit more aware of my body uh, uh, actions or whatever. And I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna get better. Oh, my buddy. Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, but yeah, I'm trying to be a little bit more approachable and to try to not just completely cut people off at a conversation or whatever, or end it. I would end it in, okay, it was nice meeting you, thank you, or well, my perfume. I'll try to think of the name of the perfume that I have on. Um, that's always an attraction point. So I need to be. It's body language. I have to practice my body language because I don't know. I don't want to pass a good dude up that could really actually be a friend. You know what I'm saying? But I've always attracted men that was married or attached or whatever, and I don't want. I don't know how to turn that little button off. I don't want those men. I can't do anything with them. I think I have to come out of that mental capacity that I have of, I know he's going to be married or whatever. I need to change that around. And I'm going to pray about that because I want to meet single guys that's, available and, you don't have nothing going on. You went through a relationship, you want to break or whatever. You want a good woman. And that's what I want. hmm That's what I want. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm just typing up. I don't want her to get away. I got to um, finish this text. I know y'all still there. Wait, hold on a second. One second. One second. Nope. Um, but it's like I have to, you know, kind of be aware of my body language. I always, always, always do this. I won't run out the house without, and I did this long time ago. It's just a habit. I don't, I, I make myself presentable to the world. I try to look my best and be at my best because you never know who you're going to run into. Uh, Job opportunities, the next president of the United States, your kingdom husband. I want to put my best foot forward. Now, that don't necessarily mean I have to be glammed up all the time. And most of the time, my kids always say, "Mom, you glamming." So you don't have to, I mean, even when you go to the grocery store, you'll throw on, you're not your normal t-shirt and jean shorts kind of woman. You'll throw on nice clothes, sundress or whatever. And I do that because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. I'm showing myself some love. And that's all that matters. If you're not impressed, then you're not impressed. I'm not out to impress you. I'm out to show myself love. You know what I mean? So I will, yeah, it's like I went to Gringos the other day with my girlfriends and I threw on the I had this little romper like thing and it has a yellow top sleeves coming here and it has a crop top right here, but you can't really see. It's got a band on it. You can't really see nothing. You can't, if you raise your hand, it ain't gonna show anything, but show a little bit of skin. This much skin. Um And I'm not a skinny girl. I'm curvy. But and it was like this flattery, like cool, um like go to the beach. If I had a hat, I can go to the beach and walk on the beach with it, or just enjoy a summer night on somebody's patio and drinks or whatever. And it was just like casual like that. It wasn't dressy, but it was. But I was, whew, yeah. And they came with my friend, she came with shorts and a t-shirt on. And my other friend, she had on a dress like she had just come from work. And it was like, I think I might have. I wasn't self-conscious about it. I didn't feel one way or the other about it. And my daughter said, you know, you overdressed. You know, you didn't have to wear that to Gringos. I said, you don't know. You know, we out for drinks and eating. You don't know who you might meet. You know, when you getting into your car or whatever. So I like to look good because I like heads to turns. I really like that. That's a wink. And I don't know. I just feel my best when I look my best, or I look when I look my best. It's like I feel good about myself, and that's what's important. Feel good about yourself. Love on yourself. I always say that. Love on yourself. Love on yourself. And then try to stay positive. Try to stay positive about yourself, so you can vibrate at this level of confidence and success and abundance and prosperity and all these good things. You stay up. You stay up. That's all that matters, is that you stay up. You're not down here. We weren't made to be down there. We're not snakes. We're not reptiles. We are made to be up here floating spiritually. We are here. We have to get to that level no matter what it takes. Good food, good people around you, positive things. Go fly a kite if it makes you feel good. I cracked up laughing today, and I like to laugh. I like to laugh to the point where I cry, so that I know that level of that I'm here, and then I can attract that. You know what I'm saying? So um I don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I just love to laugh. I like to be happy. Who doesn't? I've been meeting a lot of friends. I mean, new friends. It's like God is opening this portal or something, and He's allowing me to meet new people. I'm starting to go places I haven't been. I get the courage enough to go sit at a movie by myself now. I'm gonna start going to eat lunch by myself. Sometimes just go sit and have lunch. I hadn't done that yet. I got to get back on my feet. I got to get some money. So, but that's one of my plans. I'm meeting new friends um, that I'm vibing with. It was like all I did was lock myself in my house. I mean, my head wasn't under the cover or anything. I'm healing and I'm reading and learning things, right? And I'm crafting my um little hobby, which is, redesigning wigs. I like to do that. My passion is to do hair, right? But not the original hair, blah blah blah. It's just that I like to get my hands on a wig, and I like to purchase them. I like to recreate them. When I say recreate them, I'll style them and I wear them, and everybody would compliment me, and then was like, I was making them and trying to sell. I was going to do that business, but I got so discouraged. I got so turned around because the first person that I dealt with was a friend of my sister's, one of my crazy sisters. So, and she tried to take advantage of me. Like, that's not, you're new, so you shouldn't charge this amount or whatever. I'm not new to the craft because I've always loved fashion, and always loved hair. I've always loved styling wigs. The luxury of having a wig is you get to be whoever you want. You can switch it up. And I've always done that. I've always been that type of person to always want to change things. Like my living room, um, every three every 3 months I would have to change my living room around because it's because I don't know, it just made me feel like it'll make the room, it feels like a new place when you redecorate, even in the bedroom. And it felt like a new place when you move. I got a king size bed, so I can't move that thing around as much as I used to when I had a queen, but it makes you feel like you're walking into a new room. My sanctuary is my room. My bathroom is my sanctuary as well. So I like those two things to be comfortable when I go in there. I don't have a tub. This apartment doesn't have tubs. They have showers to make room, I guess. I don't know. I ain't never even experienced nothing like that. So I used to would have nights where I have relaxations and soak in the tub and read a book, have some wine, just relax. I gave myself that all the time. All the time. So now here I take a relax. I hated it when I first moved over here. It was like, how am I gonna deal with this? How am I gonna deal with this? But I learned to deal with it. And then that shower feels so relaxing and so comfortable. It's so serene. And then it's just the water is just I love it. I mean, I could sing in the shower. I have my religious music, my praise and worship music on, and I'm praising God and talking to God, and I'm just like, and then after that, I'll throw something nice on, comfortable, and I get ready for bed or whatever. It's just so freaking cold in this apartment. It's just cold and not not complaining, but I love my time with God. I love the serenity of it. I just love it, and that's what I give back to myself. I try to find something to give back to myself, whether it's um wearing a nice dress to church or wearing a nice outfit and feeling confident in that outfit and not feeling overwhelmed or not feeling too naked or too not overdressed or whatever. I like to feel that difference when you have these different styles because it's like I can be this one day, or I can look like this one day, and I have this image or whatever, and then the next week I'll have this image or whatever. It's not really an image; it's a style, and I like to style and be versatile. I just do. It's just something about that. Um, so, oh, so I like that. I like to spin it around, flip it, and just like come out clean. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just do that for myself. I don't do that to impress anybody. I don't have to put on a short dress and heels and show myself fast. I don't go out to clubs. I don't drink. I drink an occasional margarita or something like that, wine, but I don't indulge in liquor. I don't do that. Um, Yeah, that's just basically me. I just would not want to, I wouldn't want to change a thing about me. I want this man to come in and say, "Oh, you good. You good, keep doing what you're doing or whatever." And then when I want to take this hair off or weave out or whatever I have in my head or whatever I'm feeling it, and I want to just take a, I mean, I look a hot mess, but it's my hot mess, right? It's my hot mess and I love it. God has seen me in my natural raw state and I've seen myself. And so whoever I take in, they're going to have to deal with me and my flaws because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. So I said that to say this. When I do meet that man, we gotta talk. We're gonna have to have a talk. I have some things that you need to know. And so I don't know, I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to what the rest of this year has to offer. Uh oh, excuse me. And looking forward to I don't know, just new people, new things to come, new avenues, new opportunities. I want to get my foot grounded in the ground and let my talent come out and my voice be heard and be obedient to God and wait on him to just, you know, do the thing. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. So I have kept you guys an hour and 15 minutes. I have to go. I could talk forever. So I just need to say this: love on yourself, love on you. Reach out to your family, check in with them, let them know you're all right, see if they're all right. Know that God loves you because He does. He really loves us. We're His prized possession. So I always remember that. Love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.